I decided to make a different video or another video on lion's mane's mushrooms. I guess I should explain that there's a lot of health benefits to lion's mane mushrooms. Excuse me, brain alertness. There's lots of different papers out that you can go on YouTube and search lion's mane mushrooms and look up the health benefits. There's a lot of supplements and like pills and stuff that have lion's mane powder in them, and people are taking them. But what I have found out from my researching it is that the powder's not very good for you, because you can't, your digestive system can't break up the chitin that is what makes up the mushrooms. So it can't break up the mushroom powder, and you can't get the full benefits from what the mushroom has to offer. So there's two ways of extracting the beneficial properties: the water-soluble property and the acidic properties that are in the mushrooms. So there's the hot water method and there's the alcohol method. And the water method breaks down the water, the water soluble parts that maybe your body, obviously maybe the body can break that down because it's water soluble, but it also has to be hot water. So maybe that's why, because the temperature has to be somewhere between 160 Fahrenheit to 180 Fahrenheit. So obviously in your body you're only at 98.8 Fahrenheit, so it's not going to be hot enough to break down the water soluble part, by the sounds of it. As I talk, I'm usually thinking at the same time. So the water soluble part, you break it down with hot water, and I'm using my stir plate here, my hot stir plate. And as I said in my other video, but my other video was quite loud. I had the vibrating sonic cleaner. I had that running, and the video was quite loud, and I don't think people are really going to like that. So I'm making another video. I watched a lot of other videos, and all they did was cut up the mushroom and put it into some type of a bag, cheesecloth of some sort. And as far as I'm concerned, you have to use a blender and get it down to a powder, so that the hot water or the alcohol can get into the fibers of the mushroom, right? You know, there's a lot more surface area that it can get into, as opposed to a slice of a mushroom. So if somebody's going to do it, they should at least run it through a blender and make it into very small pieces. And then, as I said, 160 to 180. You can do it on a stove or whatever, and just stir it up and make sure it doesn't go above 180, or try to keep it below that. And as for the alcohol, you can fill a container up with alcohol and then you shake it, but you have to do that for about 6 weeks. It takes about 6 weeks supposedly for it to absorb the acids and break up the mushroom enough to pull the acids and the different properties out of the mushroom. With the sonic vibrator here, you have them submerged in an alcohol bath and you're vibrating it, so the particles are vibrating and the alcohol is getting all the ways around the powder of the mushroom, and it's obviously going to absorb a lot quicker that way. One of the YouTube videos that I had seen said if you have it running for 80 minutes, it should be enough. Myself, I've probably been running it for 2 hours off and on, so I believe that's probably enough. And then what you do is you take the solution and you put it into a cheesecloth and you wring it right out, because I've tried many different filters and all it does is clog up the filters because it's such a small, the powder is so small, it just clogs everything up. So I went out today and I got some cheesecloth so I can strain it that way. But another thing is, with the alcohol, you have to have roughly 20% alcohol in your mixture when you mix the water soluble and the alcohol soluble extraction. They say you want 20% because that'll hold the properties in suspension. I don't know what you'd call them, but the nutrients, I guess it would be, in suspension at 20% alcohol. But if your alcohol content's lower, which mine is going to be lower because I have a lot more water than I have alcohol, so mine's going to be lower. But they say all you have to do is shake up the bottle before you extract it with the eyedropper. And you don't even need an eyedropper. I was using a spoon and putting it underneath my tongue, and it works just fine. So I'm trying to keep this one a little bit more informative and a little shorter with no noise. Cheers.